Let me get this out of the way, my state does exist. I mean, how else would I be typing this? But you've probably never heard of it. Or at least, you don't remember. I live in the state of Sequoia. The proud 38th state to join the United States of America. Tucked between Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina. We formally joined the Union in 1868, right after the ratification of the 14th Amendment. Before that, Sequoia was an independent Cherokee Indian reservation, but protected reservations don't pay taxes, and the war-torn South wasn't gonna pay for itself. So the US snatched up the land, and just like that, Sequoia was born. Everyone living here got labeled a tax-eligible citizen. This probably sounds insane to all of you, but I've lived here my whole life. We're being erased. Not metaphorically. I mean, nobody outside of Sequoia has any evidence we were ever here. I started noticing a change about a year ago. The capital city, Gist, sits right near the point where Tennessee, Georgia, and Sequoia meet. Because of that, we used to get a steady stream of tourists, mostly folks from further south coming up to see the leaves change and stare at the mountains, but then the tourists started thinning out. And the ones who did show up always looked lost. Like they didn't know how they got here or what this place even was. I was working a shift at my aunt's coffee house. Just a sip, when a lady walked in. She looked about my age, early 20s, with a confused look on her face. "Welcome to Just a Sip." "Take a seat and I'll be right with you," I said, going through my usual customer service routine. "Actually, I was just hoping to get directions," she said, kind of glancing around. "This place isn't on my GPS." I figured she had to be mistaken. I mean, this is Gist, the capital of Sequoia. We're not Atlanta, but we're definitely not some middle-of-nowhere ghost town either. Odd, I said, but I didn't think much of it as I walked over. "You're in Gist. Where are you trying to get to?" "I'm sorry, where is Gist?" "I'm supposed to be in North Carolina right now." I chuckled. "You're about an hour out. This is Sequoia." Her face dropped, like she thought she misheard me. "Sequoia? What is that?" I had to stop myself from rolling my eyes. Is that a joke? I was genuinely asking, but her face told me it wasn't. I pointed to the map on the wall. No disrespect, but nobody's ever asked me that before. "Are you from out of the country?" I tried to keep it light. "I'm from Savannah," she said, still looking shaken. "You're from Georgia and you don't know about the state right above you?" I cracked a smile, still trying to be nice. "Not so sure you should be traveling alone." She didn't smile back. "There's no state called Sequoia. I should be in North Carolina right now. Look." She pulled out her phone and showed me her GPS. It looked like it was glitching. Constantly rerouting, stuttering like it was looking for roads that didn't exist. And sure enough, Sequoia wasn't on the map. Tennessee touched North Carolina directly, like someone had cropped us out in a bad Photoshop. "That's weird. Your GPS must be glitching or something. Here, take a seat and we'll pour you some coffee and get you a map." I tried to be courteous. She was visibly shaken, and her eyes were darting around like she was looking for an exit. I needed her to calm down before she scared the other customers. She thanked me, and I sat down beside her to help her work through the map. She looked like she was trying to read a foreign language. "What's your name?" I asked, starting to wonder if maybe she wasn't mentally well. "I'm Ally," she said quietly. "Hi Ally, I'm Brenda," I responded with a smile. "Are you feeling okay?" "I'm fine. But this is all impossible." I didn't know how to respond. I guess I know better now, but imagine being told your entire state didn't exist and you shouldn't be there. What would you have said? "Is there someone I should call for you? Any friends or family? I'm worried about you getting back on the road like this." Yeah, I can call my mom. She pulled out her phone and dialed. Then she put it on speaker. A cheery voice came through the speaker. Hey Ally, how's the trip? Did you get there okay? Mom, what states border Georgia? She asked, frantically. I thought hopefully her mom could talk some sense into her. Well, there's Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina. What's this about? I looked down at the phone like her mom could feel the glare I was giving through it. Ally's face sank even further as she looked back at me. What about Sequoia? I said into the phone, confident that this family just sucked at geography. Sequoia? What's that? The woman on the other end asked. Ally looked up at me, clearly feeling vindicated. I could tell she didn't trust me anymore. Mom. I got turned around and ended up in a town I don't recognize. My GPS isn't working. They're saying I'm in a state called Sequoia. I was just in Georgia. I should be in North Carolina right now. Mom, this isn't making any sense. Where am I? She was starting to spiral. I tried to calm things down. Other customers were starting to look her way. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I don't understand. You're in the state of Sequoia, in the town of Gist. I want to help you, but you need to try to stay calm. I debated calling 911. This woman clearly needed to be evaluated. Her mom backing her up wasn't helping. This isn't funny. She said, fighting tears. I know I crossed the Georgia border. I know I should be in North Carolina right now. You're telling me I'm in a state that doesn't even exist. I didn't know what to do, so I pulled out my ID. Look, this is a Sequoia state ID. If you go outside, you'll see Sequoia license plates on almost every car. Sequoia's been a real state for over 100 years. It was no use. She ran out of the coffee shop and got into her car. She sped off down the road, the map still spread out on the table where she left it. I took a second to catch my breath. I've had some weird customers before, but that was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, except it kept happening. My best friend will worked at the old gift shop down the street. It's called You Get the Gist. We really like our puns around here. Anyway, he had to find a new job a couple months ago when the business suddenly shut down. Delivery orders just stopped coming in. When they called the supplier, they said all the orders were getting returned with an invalid address. The supplier insisted they didn't know a city called Gist and were sure there was no state called Sequoia. There haven't been many tourists lately. I couldn't tell you the last time I served coffee to a face I didn't recognize. So, this is my last resort. I'm writing this in case anyone out there can tell me what the hell is going on. Do you remember Sequoia? And if you're from Sequoia reading this, please help explain to these people that I'm not crazy. There are hundreds of thousands of us here, but according to the world outside our borders, we don't exist.